Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I don't know how else to express how grateful I am when I see your names begin to show and your good mornings. I am so grateful to you for coming. So grateful to you for doing this for you. I feel so honored. Like it's 6 a.m., y'all. It's 6 a.m. and you're here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. Good morning. Good morning. Today's verse is very long, so I can't call names, but I see you all and I say good morning. Welcome today. Welcome this beautiful day. At the bottom of your screen, just under, not at the bottom of your screen, well, depends on the device you're using. Just under where you see me speak, there is a curved arrow. That's the share button. That's a very good button to use right now. You can click on it and share to just 3 people, only 3. Just think of those 3 people you believe need to hear what you're hearing right now. Remember, at WISER, the focus is us. But if there is somebody else who you think will be uplifted by this, just click that. Only 3 today, just 3 or 2. Just send to 1, 2, 3 and write something. You should see this. I really believe this will be good for you, or this has been amazing for me. This has been enlightening for me. This will be great for you. Just click on it and then come right back and let's jump into the verse for today. It is chapter 8, day 8, day 8, day 8, day 8, day 8. So before we even start, let me ask you, have you started making decisions for 2022? Have you started writing down some things you're going to do differently based on all that we have discussed so far? Has something begun to look different, change, or have you already made 1 or 2 changes already? If the answer is yes, you can send us a private message and just send that one-liner of this one thing I'm doing differently in 2022. This one thing I am doing differently in 2020. Send us a private message on the WhatsApp. You have the official Joyce Daniels number. If not, it will be put up in the chat right now. Just send us a message. No long story, just one thing I'm doing differently in 2022 is this. I would love to read. I would love to see them. They help me. They're encouraging to me that what we're doing here is actually making a difference, not just talk, because it'll be painful if it's just talk, right? It'll be very painful. So let's see. Verse 1 of chapter 8, and the Message translation is our text. Yes, I see your responses saying, I have started, I am changing. Thank you so much. Happy to see this. Great. So, what is wisdom saying this morning? Do you hear Lady Wisdom calling? Can you hear Madam Insight raising her voice? She's taking her stand at First and Main, at the busiest intersection, right in the city square, where the traffic is thickest. She shouts, "You! I'm talking to all of you. Everyone out here on the streets. Listen, you idiots. Learn good sense. Blockheads, shape up. Don't miss a word of this. I'm telling you how to live. I'm telling you how to live at your best. My mouth chews and savors and relishes truth. I can't stand the taste of evil. Truth is in the mouth of wisdom, and she's shouting to us. If you've misbehaved in the past, if you've been a blockhead, not wanting to listen, or if you've been an idiot, it's time to take good sense. And I know that many of us are taking good sense home this time and are reminding, are rinsing, and are saying to ourselves, 2022 will be different. In fact, it doesn't even need to start in 2022. It's starting right now. We're doing things differently because we're shaping up. You'll hear only true and right words from my mouth. This is a safe place to be. This is the right place to be because all you will hear will be true and right. Not one syllable will be twisted or skewed. You don't be afraid of anything you hear from me. It will be the truth. It will be right. You will recognize this as true with open minds. If your minds are not open, though, you may not see it as true. There are some things wisdom will say to us that will seem untrue if our minds are not open. So, how do I ensure that my mind is open? I can say things to myself like, everything I'm getting out of this experience will be for my betterment. Let me listen with the mind to improve, not the mind to do as I have always done. Let me listen with the mind to improve. Let me listen with the mind to improve. If you're going to an event generally and you just go with, well, what will be, let's just go and see what they're saying. You may not take too much away. They might say something and you go, okay. But if you go with the heart and the intention to improve, you say, I'm going to listen and see how to apply everything I'm hearing to improve my situation. Then guess what? You will pick, I think I can use that. I think I can use this. I think I can use that. This will be useful to me. Open mind. Open mind. Before I condemn anything, I will question it. I will put it in context. I would say, why is this? I will question. See, the open mind asks questions. The open mind doesn't label. Labeling says things like, no, I can't listen to that. No, that's not just right. No. The open mind will say, okay, why did she say that? Okay, what was the reason? In what context was it said? Who was being addressed? Okay, is it possible that in this particular situation, this is the right thing, but if you flip the situation, something could change? You see, the open mind is using the 5 W's and 1 H, is asking questions to get the most out of it, not just, I don't agree with that one. I don't agree. So I'm reminding me to be open-minded, because there are times that I hear something and I go, that's not, then I go, no, Joyce, relax. Why do you think she said that? What do you think her, okay, I see where she's coming from. Okay, in this case, okay, so let me flip it. The open mind will question, the open mind will question, ask questions. And in asking questions, you will find solutions that you will not have found if you had just labeled it and said, no, 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 that's too old school for me. What does old school mean? How does something being old school stop me from growing? Is it making sense to you? Before you label something, ask. On this point of labeling, before you label people, ask. I'm trying to remember something that happened very recently, and I was like, no, I can't label. When I remember, I will say it. You see someone dressed a certain way, for example, and you say, hey, see them, they don't come home. See how he's dressed like. No, before that, before labeling him, why is he dressed this way? Is it possible this is all he has? Is it possible that this is all he has been exposed to? Does he know any better? Does he even have money to get? Can I educate him? Who will? See, when you ask the questions, if you were angry at the person or disappointed by their dressing, you will just find that the anger will dissipate a little because you're asking questions. That's being open-minded. Wisdom is saying, come with an open mind. You will recognize truth when you come with open minds. It's only those who are open-minded that recognize truth. Those who are closed-minded will not see it as truth. They might see it as punishment. They might see it as whatever. So she's saying truth-ready minds will see it at once. Those who are ready for truth will see truth at once. And many times we don't want to say the truth to ourselves because the truth is usually bitter. And let's not kid ourselves, the truth is not always palatable. Remember the example I used the other day as using one of these tinctures like iodine or methylated spirit on your body when you have a wound. When you pour it on yourself, you feel hurt. The truth is like that. It will hurt you first. It usually will sting you, but then it will dry up and cover that place that was exposed to an injury. Prefer my life disciplines over chasing after money. Prefer my life disciplines over chasing after money, and God knowledge over a lucrative career. Wow. Before my career and my money, I should put wisdom and God knowledge, because these are the, should I say, tools that would even expose me to being my best on the career, and will expose me to even making more money than I could on my own. Wisdom and God knowledge. Wisdom and God knowledge. I got a call on Monday. What's today? Wednesday. So I think that message came in over the weekend. No, it came in on Friday. And I was asked to speak at an event. And she said, oh, the person who recommended you just said, look, I'm going to give you a list of people, but you see this one. Not only will she give you hot stuff necessary for your topic, but she will keep you engaged. Everybody will be at the edge of their seats all through. I will be speaking for less than an hour. And then they asked how much. And I mentioned a fee, which I would never have mentioned before, but I now know that I have grown in wisdom and knowledge. That what they want me to speak on, I don't even need. The truth is, I've not opened one book. I already know exactly what I want to say. I'm only practicing it to say it within the time I have been given. So I'm picking my how. I know what I want to say, I know who I'm speaking to, but it's the how that I'm tweaking just a little bit so that it can fit into the time that I had. But you see, if I did not have the open mind to learn how to manage my time, I may not be this valuable to them. If I hadn't taken the time to understand God knowledge, remember we said wisdom, when you understand the principles that wisdom is teaching and how to apply to life, then that is God knowledge, because God wants us to excel on this earth. So the more God knowledge you have, the more money you can attract. Let me flip it, because some people don't see education as God knowledge. So you go to school to study law, and after a while, you specialize in maritime law. Typically, the person who is a general legal practitioner and you that have become more specialized in maritime law, you tend, please in the chats, let me know if I'm right or wrong, you tend to command more money because you went after more knowledge, which we call specialization. It is actually God knowledge. Maritime is part of the world. You've gone to understand the laws that guide maritime business, maritime operations in the world that we are. That's an increase in God knowledge. And so when a client speaks to you and asks for a brief, and you give them some kind of millions of naira or dollars and they pay, it's because you sought knowledge first. Is this making sense? So when you increase in knowledge around your space, around your environment, around your career, around your profession, you also tend to attract more money. So wisdom is saying to us today, come after me before money. Come after my life's disciplines before money. What I have in store for you with all that you will know through me, you can't get until you have gotten to me. So you are a baker. You bake cakes, bread, and all of that. But now you go to specialize. You pay for one kind of fee to go for an extra baking lesson that will teach you how to keep your cakes moist and sweet without going bad. if there is a course like that, and they will stone you one bill of $500 for 2 hours. But then you pay for it and you go for that training. And no wonder now everybody wants your cakes, because they can't tell why your cakes are so moist and sweet. They're so moist. They're just so rich. There's just something about them. Now people are coming to you, paying more money, whereas someone who did not attend the course is struggling to say, why aren't they paying me? Why isn't money coming? Because you're chasing money before God knowledge. Wisdom is saying, chase me first, God knowledge. And then money will follow you, not the other way round. Chase me before your lucrative career. It is me, wisdom. It is me, God knowledge, that will actually make your career more lucrative. For wisdom is better than, excuse me. For wisdom is better than all the trappings of wealth. Nothing you could wish for holds a candle to her. Nothing could hold a, nothing you wish for, nothing you wish for holds a candle to her. Nothing, no wealth, no fame, no security, no greatness holds a candle to her. When you have her, you are more likely to have everything else that you want. So go to her first. She gives you security, because when you know what to do, you are more secure. She shows you what to do. She gives you instructions that people don't have, who don't have her, can't access. The kinds of instructions that may not be written in the pages of a book, and people are looking at you and wondering, why are you so wise? You've opened your heart to wisdom first. And so she opens her treasures to you and gives you the kinds of instructions that mere mortals, as it were, don't have, thereby making you more valuable. People begin to ask you for help. They begin to ask you for solutions. And then what happens? You begin to make money. I'm saying this because many times we are so trapped and fixated in trying to make money that we say, I beg, I beg, I beg. And I dare say, guys, please, if you are a man, a male on this group, in this call right now, you need to please help us forward this message to other men. Please just look for 2-3 men. And if you're a woman, please intentionally share this to 1 or 2 men in your life. Brother, father, friend, colleague, men, male. Why? We find more men saying things like, I beg na money I dey find, no be this course where I want to attend. I beg na money I dey find, no be this course where I want to attend. I beg na money I dey find, no be this I dey find. I beg na money I dey find. And we find that many, not all, but many who keep saying this don't really grow, because they're not learning anything new. They're just trying to cut deals. So they're busy, but not making a lot of progress. Many are busy, but are not making significant growth. Meanwhile, as we find it, a lot of women are paying for programs, attending. And I'm just saying that this is a general trend I noticed, and I've talked about it with a few people, and they've confirmed that it's true across the world. And a lot of men are not paying attention. And so the woman is paying, she's learning, she's growing, she's advancing in leaps and bounds, and it's people are wondering what's going on. Oh, someone else spoke about this yesterday. So check it. So what else can I know? And of course, attending, I think the point has been made. I'll leave it there. The point has been made. Let's leave it there. Verse 12 says, I am Lady Wisdom, and I live next to sanity. Wisdom and sanity go hand in hand. When you find yourself in situations where you feel like pulling out your hair, where you feel like you're going insane, what is missing? Everyone in the chat, what is missing at that time? What is missing? When you're like, this thing is just driving me insane. What is missing? Wisdom. Wisdom is missing. Because wisdom is saying, wisdom is saying, I live right next to sanity. I live right next to sanity. If you have me, you have sanity. If you have me, you have. And all right, we're back. If you have me, you have sanity. If you miss me, then there is a problem. So when you're missing something, when you're so scattered, you're like, what's going on? Why am I? Just check. What do I need to know? That's the right time to say something is missing in terms of knowledge. There's something I don't know. There's some wisdom that's missing here. What do I need to know? Who do I need to consult? Where do I need to go? You see? But you see, if we're not conscious of this, what we tend to do is, now wow, village people have come. Now after everything, we even prayed and fasted. Nothing is just working. Why wouldn't things just work for me in this life? See, other people are losing. Me, I'm just here losing my mind. You see how we're mixing things up? Don't. At that time, don't mix things up. Look for wisdom. Look for what? Look for wisdom. She says, I live right next to sanity. Knowledge and discretion also live down the street. We're all neighbors. We're all neighbors. When you get me, you get the whole shebang. You get me, you get all my people who come with me. The fear of God means hating evil. If you will really show the fear of God, you will hate evil. Wisdom is also saying, I hate them with a passion. I hate evil with a passion. What does evil mean? Let me Google it here. I don't know if I've ever really checked the meaning of evil. We know what evil is, right? What does it mean? Profoundly immoral and wicked. Profoundly immoral and wicked. Please just give me 1 second. Profoundly immoral and wicked. So if it's immoral and it's unfair, it is wicked, then it's evil. Wisdom is saying, I hate that. Pride and arrogance and crooked talk. Those are more things that I hate. Now, people always ask the question, what's the difference between pride and self-confidence? How do you draw the line between pride and self-confidence? And I like to say that, if you've not heard it before, I think I've explained it before, but let me explain one more time. That self-confidence is when you believe in yourself, you have a healthy outlook about yourself. You look at yourself and you go, oh, I'm good at speaking. I am great at this. Or I know how to write very well. You're being honest with yourself and you're genuinely appreciating yourself. Arrogance is when there is a standard. Let's say you say to yourself, oh, I'm a good singer. I sing very well. Now, there is a standard for singing across the world. Your voice shouldn't crack. You know what? Let me use one of these examples that we see on these jokes where some people go for, I idols. You go for one of these competitions, idols, The Voice, and they show us some behind the scenes of when people come for what you call auditioning, right? And you and I are wondering, how did this person think they could sing? They will go there like, I don't wanna be a nobody, yeah, yeah. I don't wanna be a I can know, hey, hey. I'm like, huh, can they hear themselves? Now, that to some extent could be seen as arrogance, where against the standard you qualify yourself good. Meanwhile, you are nowhere near the standard. Is this making sense to you? You are that's a level of arrogance where you go, I don't care what the standard is. I'm good enough. I'll show up. Now, somebody might say that that's also them, believing in themselves. Yes, I agree. You believe in yourself to the point where you do not anymore acknowledge the standard. The standard says you should sing like this. You are saying, I don't care how I sing, I will sing anyway. And the rest of the world is looking at you like, are you okay? So the standard says, Denise, I think it's your network. I need to go off and come on. The standard says you need to write 1,000 words. Your essay needs to be 1,000 words to qualify. You now write 450 and still submit and say, well, they better take it. No, that's arrogance. That's arguing with the standard. Hold on, let me change my network. Just give me a moment. Let me change my network. Okay, I want to believe it to be the sound will be better now. If it's better, Denise and Dennis, please let me know. Arrogance is arguing with the standard. Wisdom is saying, don't appreciate yourself in spite of the standard. Appreciate yourself in line with the standard. That's good. Don't want to go run now, which is what as a nation, Nigeria, we have been doing. Oh, it's better. It means it was affecting everybody. I'm so sorry. Okay. Which is what we've been doing as a nation in our sports, for example. The standard is to go win medals, at least first, which is gold, silver, or bronze. The standard is to practice together for at least 1 year. But many times we gather our national teams few weeks, few months to the tournament. And what happens? We go there and you will hear somebody like a minister for sports or something say, they would say at a press conference, I've heard it with my 2 ears before, well, at least we hope to make it to the quarterfinal. What? People are going there to win gold. You're saying you're going there to get to quarterfinals. At least let's see, we'll make it to the quarterfinals. That's just me using one sector. That's arrogance. That's against standard. Well, at least we'll show up. Wisdom is saying, I detest that. My standard is you will practice for how long you are supposed to practice in the way and manner you should practice, and then you will get the results. Else, you will not make it. You will be like those people who go to audition for those shows who come totally unprepared. Now, as much as I mentioned Nigeria, please, I want you to bring yourself back to the picture and ask yourself, am I working according to standards in your profession? In 2022, the things you want to execute, do you even know what the standard is? And how are you going to measure up to standard? So please, let's come back to each of us here. I'm asking myself, Joyce, the things you want to win in 2022, have you taken steps toward being up to standard? What is the standard? What price do I need to pay to make it to the standard? When NAFDAC wants to give you a certificate, bring you up to standard, they come and they come to your business environment, to your laboratory, or to your factory, your production site, to be sure that you have things right according to standard before they give you a certificate to say, okay, now you can produce for the world. Do you know the standard? So some people, I know someone some time ago, when she asked NAFDAC to come inspect her facility, and then they gave her a list of things that should have been, and she was like, wow, this one too, that one too. And I was like, oh, this is the standard. Ignorance is not an excuse. I think the point has been made. Don't be ill prepared and yet expect to win. No, wisdom is saying, I hate that. Good counsel and common sense are my characteristics. Good counsel includes searching out the right information, looking for the counsel, reading the book, attending the course. I'm saying this again and again because many of us have not been prepared enough for the success we want. And that is one reason why at the end of the year, many people are like, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't get that. No, you did not prepare. You can't really just get what you didn't prepare for. Good counsel and common sense are my characteristics, meaning the sense becomes your way of life. It becomes common because it's your way of life after you have learned it. Until you learn it, it's not common. I am both insight and the virtue to live it out. Wisdom, I am insight and I am virtue. I will help you live out this thing that you've come to learn from me. With my help, leaders rule and lawmakers legislate fairly. So when I am not there, that is where there is a problem in leadership. So do I want to go into a space of leadership yet I don't know what to do? I don't have the wisdom for it. I am already heading to becoming a poor leader. If I want to be a good leader, I need to learn what it takes to lead and to govern. Hence, part of the challenge with leaders is not attending leadership trainings. And someone say, it's not by training. It's not also by inheritance. It is by training. Wisdom, Solomon said to us, my father taught me. My father sat me down. My father said to me, my father did this. My father spoke to me. My father corrected me. My father instructed me. My father taught me. I was schooled in leadership. Have we been schooled? I was schooled. Have you been schooled for your next point of growth? I love those. Okay, she says here, with my help, governors govern along with all in legitimate authority. First of all, if the authority is illegitimate, there's already a wisdom gap, there will be a problem. I love those who love me, and those who look for me find me. The challenge is, do we look? Joyce, have you looked? When you look for me, you will find me, because I am everywhere. I'm even at the busiest corners of the streets, screaming out. All you need to do is notice me. Wealth and glory accompany me. So if you want wealth and you want glory, get me. Also, substantial honor and a good name. Substantial honor and a good name. I want all these things. I want wealth. I want glory. I want substantial honor. And I want a good name. All I need to do is hold on to wisdom. She brings everything else. So you see, it's like buy one, get all. Buy one, get all. If you want the whole bag, just get wisdom. Rather than going to look for where to get substantial honor, then how to get a good name, then how to get wealth here. No, just get me. And I come with the whole package. If you get me, you get all that I come with. We see? My benefits are worth more than a big salary, even more than a very big salary. I think if we get this, if we own this truth, herein will end our chasing money. because we will go back and say money, honor, fame, good name, all the other things will come when I express the right wisdom. Solution providers. The more solution you provide, the more money you make. I just saw this morning that main one has been is being bought by, what's the name of the company? Is it Exin? For 300 over $300 million. Main one is the company that brought in the fiber. I think they were the first before Glow to bring in the fiber cables from Europe, I think, into Nigeria, through which we get some of the internet that we use. Main one brought that massive cable under the sea. So they brought internet, as it were, I'm saying it in lay terms, enough internet to serve millions of people. No wonder they've also earned a whole lot of money. And now an organization wants to buy off, or I think they said the deal has started, has been signed, but will be concluded by March for over $300 million. If you're not providing such important solution, who is really going to give you $300 million for your business? What's that business doing? So when we see the companies that are earning so much money, especially in profits, go and check. They are providing incredible solution that people want. Why will Facebook make so much money from adverts? Why? Because we are all on Facebook connecting with family and friends. They are providing a solution that has become like air to us. And so now, if you want more people to see your this, you pay this. If you want it, you pay for almost everything on Facebook now. They're making a whole lot of money. But guess what? They are also every single day creating new solutions. Now there's Facebook rooms, there's this, there's Facebook that, there's the one that they've done with what's the name, Ray-Ban. Now you buy the Ray-Ban glasses you wear, and you can go live, or you can record your videos, because my gosh, they're creating solutions. They're not looking for money. Money is looking for them. Can money please look for you in 2022? Because of the kinds of solutions that we are providing. Worthy, laudable, credible, apt solutions. So wisdom is saying, my benefits are more than even a big salary, a very big salary. The returns on me exceed any imaginable bonus. What you will get from being around me, forget it. No bonus can give it to you. You can find me on Righteous Road. That's where I walk. I walk in the place of righteousness. I do things right, and I do the right things. So I've written that my mantra, three watchwords, or watch the mantra for me in 2022, which starts now. Number one, be kind and considerate. Be kind and considerate. Number two, do the right thing. Number three, do things right. Those three things are guiding me this season going forward. What, Joyce, this thing you're doing, is it kind and considerate? Is it beneficial to all? Yes. Is it the right thing to do? And are you doing it the right way? Sometimes we do the right thing, but we don't do it the right way. You hear somebody's going to build I think I've used this example before, but I would use it again because it hurt me when I heard about it. Somebody went to build a hospital in their community. They went to build a hospital, a clinic. They had done all the work, bought a lot of equipment. They had gotten some doctors who would be hired to live in the community there to serve. And they went and started building this hospital or this clinic in their local community. And the authorities came and stopped the building and said, no, you can't just come here and build a hospital. And they're like, oh, but it's a good thing we're doing. Say, yes, it's a good thing, but you've not done it the right way. First of all, you go to Ministry of Health to get your clearance for something. Then they will go to Ministry of Environment to do this, that. Then you go to Ministry of Lands and this, and you get this other clearance and certificate. Then you do this, and then you do that, and then you do this before you get to this point. Wow. It almost completely scattered everything. Thankfully, it just halted them for a while. They had to now go and do the right thing the right way. Do the right thing and do things right. They now went to do it right. It took them some time. A few years ago, uh, some organization came to Uyo. Then I lived in Uyo. They came to set up. I actually reached out to them to say, "Hey, we need this your establishment in Uyo." And so the owner of the business, said to me, "Okay, if you can find land for us, we'll come set up." So I called one or two people, and we found the land in a very wonderful spot in Oron Road, on along Oron Road, just a very beautiful plot. And they came, they bought the place, demolished what was there, and began to build. Now they built a bungalow because that was their standard. As they were getting to roofing, authorities came and put the massive X's all over the place, sealed it, and said, "This land, this whole stretch, all the buildings on this stretch are supposed to be duplexes, not bungalows." And that's when I realized that's true. That whole Oron Road, every building there is a duplex. Do the right thing. It stalled that business for almost 6 to 8 months, I think, if I'm not mistaken, because they had to go back to the drawing table. Thankfully, their foundation was already done right, but they hadn't planned to deck and build on top. So it took them, they went to rearrange this and that, and then finally made it a story building. And then he called me to say, "Joyce, now what are we going to do with all that top? Do you know somebody who can come and rent the place, Lizzie? Because we don't need it." So whilst they were building, we're looking for, thankfully, they got people who were able to lease the spaces up there. Do it right. It might be good. Even somewhere in Proverbs where we would see, say, don't wake up at 5 a.m. and start screaming to your neighbor, "Good morning, oh, now good morning." That's a good thing to do, to say good morning, but not at 5 a.m. screaming at the top of your voice. That's that's improper. People who are still sleeping, like, why is that one shouting this morning? That's not the way to say the good morning, right? So don't do the right thing the wrong way, which is what wisdom is saying. You can find me on righteous road. Righteous is doing right things right way. The right thing right way. That's where I walk, at the intersection of Justice Avenue. Meaning, when you find me, you find justice. Handing out life to those who love me. Remember, we talked about it will make your skin good. It will add life to you. If you will have a good quality of life, then find wisdom. I hand out life to those who love me, filling their arms with life, armloads of life. I give a lot of life to those who find me. So don't not find me. Find me and get this. God sovereignly made me the first, the basic, meaning I am the foundation. Every other thing is built on me. Before you start your business, get the wisdom for the business. Before you get into the relationship, get the wisdom for it. Before you get into the promotion, get the wisdom for it. Before you move into a new city or a new job, get the wisdom for it. Find the wisdom. I am the first and the basic. I am the basic. I am the basic. Before you switch, before you leave, yes, the relationship has not been working out and you want to pack out. You want to leave. But before you do that, find the wisdom for it. In your situation, there are children involved. What happens? What is the law that guides what is going to happen? Not just, "Oh, I'm just angry and I leave." You might hurt yourself even more because you haven't gotten the right wisdom. This thing has been done wrong. What's the right thing to do? What's the wisdom? Not before you take action. Mommy, calm down. What's the right thing to do here? I don't know. Okay, so who do we ask? Who do we call? Remember, and also calling the right people who actually know. You see why you need a lawyer friend, and more importantly, you need a lawyer retainer on your retainership in your organization, that they can read through invoices for you, they can read through agreements for you before you sign, because sometimes you sign what you don't know. God made me the basic for a reason. Before he did anything else, he put me in place. I was brought into being a long time ago, well before earth got its start. I arrived on the scene before ocean. Yes, even before springs and rivers and lakes, before mountains were sculpted and hills took shape, I was already there, newborn. So before you build your empire, do you have the wisdom? Long before God stretched out earth's horizons and tended to the minute details of soil and weather, at set sky firmly in place, I was there. When he mapped and gave borders to the wild ocean, built the vast vault of heaven and installed the fountains that fed ocean, when he drew a boundary for sea and posted a sign that said no trespassing, then staked out earth's foundation, I was right there with him, making sure everything fit. So there's nothing wrong with you if you are spending enough time and resources on finding how everything will fit whilst setting up. There's nothing wrong with you. If someone is saying to you, your own is too much, don't even answer them. You're okay. You are what? Okay. I used to say to myself that I didn't think it was necessary. Then when you say before you get married to someone, go and find out where they're from, do a background check on their family, find out what do you call it, what the patterns might be. I'll be like, now, wow, God has taken care of all those things now. The blood of Jesus has. Now I'm of the opinion that you should find out there might be some patterns that don't necessarily mean you will fall into them, but they help you become better prepared and to ask the right questions. So you might go in and find that, oh, there's something here. They all have this thing that happens to them at this age. Okay, so what is causing it? Is it what they're eating? Is it where they live? And you might actually find it and say, okay, well, this is how they have lived. Okay, so we need to change this. You know how they'll say diabetes is not, if you're a doctor here, please correct me, that diabetes is not genetically transferred, but it's familial. So your it's easier for someone whose parents have had diabetes to have diabetes, not necessarily because of the genetics, but because you're most likely living the same kind of lifestyle, eating the same kinds of foods your parents ate. If your parents dealt a lot in sugar and junk, it is possible that that's how you lived because that's what you saw, and so you modeled after them, not because genes have made you have diabetes. You are just living the same kind of lifestyle. So perhaps you've increased the possibility of having it. I know that was explained to me years ago. I hope it's still true. So you might realize certain things, you notice. If you notice, someone is saying patterns like what? It could be even patterns of divorce that everyone in that family has been divorced at one point or the other. That's something to take a look at and to ask why. What's the challenge? If there are 5 children and all 5 of them have had divorces, can I just take a closer look? Remember, it's not judging, it's not labeling, it's asking questions. And then you might realize that, oh, they were raised in a way that they're bullies in the family. They are bullies. They don't back down. They don't take nonsense in quote from anybody. They want to impose. Now, if you didn't see the first fact, you may not notice the second, that that's how they all behave, male and female alike. They do not listen. You can't reason with them. You can't compromise. You can't have conversation. You can't have a different opinion. You will become an enemy. And then you now notice, oh, it's true. So even this one that is doing very lovey-dovey around you, you will now look closer and see that actually true. She argues with everything. She doesn't listen to anything. That's a pattern. Just by taking a closer look, panning for gold. And then you now make informed decisions. Should I tell her or tell him that if we are going to proceed in this relationship, both of us should attend a an emotional intelligence class together or a human relations class together, and that becomes a deal breaker for you, and if she says, okay, yeah, I would be willing to attend, you attend. And then if she says, attend for what? Why am I attending that at this age? I'm 46, so it's now I want to go and start learning. You already know that's a no-go area for you. You will also divorce soon because both of you will break on her head, or one person will walk away. Trends, patterns, or there is obesity. They're all overweight. They're all not overweight, they're all obese. Take another look. Meanwhile, you are fit farm. And then you go there and you say, oh, they offer you food, and you look at all the food and you're like, so much oil, they eat fat, they eat meat with lots of fat, and you say, oh no, I just want water. Only water? What are you doing? As skinny as you are. And they're offering you juice, packet juice that you don't take, and this and that. And they're laughing at you and mocking you and saying, I beg, this life now only one, something must kill a man. Can you really live in this environment? You're about to date this person, but this is all they know. So now you know the work you have. If this person doesn't change this lifestyle or adjust this lifestyle, can I fit in? Or am I going to have to struggle with this? And then I would have one or two children. And how would these children be able to strike a balance if this is what they're exposed to? You see, it's informed. You're now asking the right questions. 5 W's and 1 H. Who, what, where, when, how? We're not saying become cynical. Remember, wisdom and cynicism are not the same. Cynicism is when you don't trust anything at all. Everybody, you're suspicious of everything and everyone. No, no, no. It's you just want to ask questions to know more, to unearth information. So wisdom is saying here, I was right there making sure everything fits. So for you and I who are walking toward 2022, how can we make sure things fit using wisdom, asking the right questions that things fit? Day after day, I was there with my joyful applause, always enjoying God's company. So wisdom does enjoy God's company. If you're not enjoying God's company this period, there's a challenge. Say fast, please get out of my chat right. If you're not enjoying God's company this period, there's something to check. There are questions to ask. I'm not talking about whether you go to church or you don't go to church. No, I'm talking about enjoying the company of God. Because wisdom is saying, I enjoy God's company. I enjoy God's company. Now, if I'm not enjoying God's company, why? What's happened? What am I angry about? What do I need to forgive God for? Or what do I need God to clarify? What went wrong? Who am I angry with that is making me pour out the anger on my relationship with God? Who offended me and then I have blocked off my channel with God because I went through this? If I'm not in the place where I am comfortable with God, is it because I'm still ashamed of that thing I did before? Is it because I am afraid that God will condemn me or has condemned me already? You see, we're asking the right questions. Wisdom asks questions because of the openness of her mind. And I'm sure when we ask these questions, we will find, and the next question will be, so how do I mend my relationship with God? That is one of the easiest things. As simple as that. I say, God, I forgive you. You hurt me. You hurt me because I felt you abandoned me. So I forgive you. Yeah, I forgive you, God. And I'm also sorry that I left you. All right, so we good? We good? All right, let's proceed. As simple as that. As simple as that. As simple as that. So wisdom said, I let me put it back on the screen. No, let me put this one here. Okay. Wisdom says, I was always enjoying God's company, delighted with the world of things and creatures, happily celebrating the human family. So, my dear friends, remember, wisdom has come again. She says, my dear friends, listen carefully. Those who embrace these my ways are most blessed. 2022 is going to be so blessed because we are embracing the ways of wisdom, the ways of having healthy relations and relationships, the ways of searching out information necessary to our growth, the ways of searching right information necessary for our peace of mind and sanity. Then our year is blessed. Mark a life of discipline and live wisely. Discipline cannot be negotiated with. It is standard. Discipline in speaking with people, discipline in keeping boundaries in relationships, discipline in what you eat, what you wear, discipline in taking care of your body and exercise and protecting your mind. It is non-negotiable. Don't not be disciplined. Set the reminders, set the alarms to remind you to read your one chapter a day or your one page a day. A disciplined life is not negotiable for success. You will crash at some point. Those who are not disciplined, look at them. After a while, they fall. When you fall, get back up and rediscipline yourself. Don't laugh off discipline and say, I beg, I have God's grace. God's grace is sufficient for me. And God is like, what? My grace is sufficient for you to live a disciplined life. Discipline in study, discipline in words, discipline in relations and relationships, discipline in keeping your money, investing your money, discipline in spending, discipline in feeding, discipline in how you relate to your family members. And look, discipline is non-negotiable. Don't you dare say, I am covered by the blood, therefore I can do as I like. You are covered by the blood, therefore you will do as wisdom says you should do. Don't confuse what God will do for what you will do. God has given grace, God has given enablement. You will need to lead a disciplined life. I must live a disciplined life to attain and achieve the greatness that I want. To go and look at my notes again, to go and search through what I have been given to do, to go and see how to deliver my task in a way that will be mind-blowing, to take a look again. That's discipline. To go and read over my notes again. That's discipline. Wisdom is saying, mark a life of discipline and live wisely. Don't squander your precious life on indiscipline. Blessed the man, blessed the man, blessed the woman who listens to me, awake and ready for me each morning, alert and responsive as I start my day's work. When you find me, you find life, real life, to say nothing of God's good pleasure. When you find me, you find God's good pleasure. Yesterday, I slept most of the day until I had lectures in the evening because Imo, I'll note your question. But if you wrong me, you damage your soul. Nancy, please, let's note that question for the question and answer season on Sunday. Just because we want to really try to keep to time, we want to keep questions for a particular time. And I think this Sunday evening we'll be gathered again to deal with some of these questions so we can deal with them properly. When you find me, you find real life, to say nothing of God's good pleasure. But if you wrong me, you don't damage me, you damage you. You damage your very soul. When you reject me, you are flirting with death. Somebody say, I embrace wisdom and I embrace life. I embrace wisdom, I embrace life. The question is, how do you balance your structure of discipline when you are in the midst of those who do not understand your standards? I will, I can't give you a quick answer. I need to create a foundation to this response. So we need time. Sunday evening is that time. I will show you from the bottom up and link some of the things that have been said already so you see your response. A similar question came the other time about how do you maintain something when other people around you don't. I think somebody sent that question to us. We will deal with on Sunday evening by the grace of God. Someone had written here that you should click on the like button. Now, here's why. Let me tell you why. When many people like a video, YouTube sees that video as having relevant content, and YouTube makes the video easier for other people to access. So yes, just by clicking on like, you make this video more discoverable even by people who have never heard of Joyce Daniels or WISER before. They get on YouTube and that might be one of the things they will see because the number of likes is high. It makes it discoverable. So I now, when I watch anything on YouTube that was very relevant to me, I click on the like button because I want somebody else to be able to partake of this that I have just enjoyed. So please, yes, click on the like button. Let's embrace wisdom together. Share to somebody. Click on the bell icon on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, so that anytime I go live or post a new video, I think we'll post a new video before the weekend, where I'm addressing, what's that thing I'm addressing? We recorded a few videos, like 3 or 4 new YouTube videos that we would upload this, period, so that they'll be helpful to you. I put a lot of interesting stuff out there on YouTube for your career, for all of that. So we'll put some more up. We embrace wisdom and therefore we live lives that will be filled with good name, with good money, with great bonuses, because we have the foundation. I wish you well, and I wish you God's best today. Have a happy day, and of course, a happier 2022. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for being with me today. I'm so glad that you are here. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and click on the bell icon to get notifications every time I post a new video so that you miss out on nothing. See you again.
I feel like I woke from a dream. These choices I've made are what I truly believe. The most important thing a man decides. We're given this choice, you better try or hide. But I've grown so much since I knew you. My time away has opened my eyes to the truth. I'm a little bit wiser, I know much more. A little bit stronger than I was before. And I've been searching so long for a soul like yours. Ooh, I think I love you so. I don't think I'm ever gonna let you go. That I woke from this dream that I had from the start. The greatest battle I face is the beating of my own heart. But I have grown so much since I knew you. My time away has opened my eyes to the truth. I'm a little bit wiser, I know much more. A little bit stronger than I was before. And I've been searching so long for a soul like yours. Ooh, I think I love